concerned about the Warriors. What I saw last night and the day before, and even a little bit right before the KD injury, it's been a rare concurrent shooting slump from Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. We really haven't seen that in the last couple of years, where both of them go cold over a several-game stretch. But if you look at last night against a hot Chicago team, Warriors on the road, they played really good team defense. And even Jimmy Butler on national TV after the game, his analysis was they missed shots. So they're still creating matchup nightmares everywhere. They're still playing very well. They're coached up well. I know Kerr complained after the game. It's not just missing shots. It's all these other things. Nobody's perfect. But I saw a crisp, really good basketball team simply miss shots. Then the question is why? Are they just going cold? Well, probably. But KD takes a lot of shots away from Steph and Klay. Steph averages 17 shots and change a game when KD is in the lineup, and Klay Thompson a little bit over 17 shots a game, both in that range. And all of a sudden, since KD went down, Steph is shooting 23 and change a game, and Klay is shooting over 20 times a game. So usually when that happens, it's not that they're streaky shooters, they're consistent shooters. Usually when that happens, the more touches you get, the better shooter you become. So if anything, not only do I expect them to emerge from this shooting slump and start to wreck teams again, I expect their shooting to, if anything, get better the more touches they see. Of course, with no KD, they're not as good as they were. They would not beat the Cavs. They might be trouble in the playoffs if they don't have them. But in terms of what we've seen last night and even against Washington, I'm not that concerned.
Well, first of all, first things first. I appreciate the brilliance of Charles Barkley. Clearly, he watches First Take and he listens to his boy. Because he echoed basically what I said, and it just shows why he's such a brilliant commentator. He listens to his boy. The fact is the Cleveland Cavaliers are definitely the prohibitive favorites because of the acquisitions of Darren Williams with Andrew Bogut, and, of course, you got Derek Williams earlier than that. But to get directly with Golden State, I'm not concerned about their shooting at all because shooters shoot, and sometimes you don't miss it. Lord knows I would know the video from a few weeks ago show it. You wake up some days and there's just nothing there. It absolutely, positively happens. Yes, I'm comparing myself to Steph Curry. Obviously, I'm joking. The point that I'm trying to make to you is very, very simple. They will get out of their shooting slump. They will get out of their doldrums. They will find a way, Steve Kerr and his staff will find a way to have this offense relatively potent. But the reason why Charles Barkley, echoing my words, are so profound is because, yes, it's not just that Kevin Durant went down. It's also that Harrison Barnes and Andrew Bogut are gone. If Harrison Barnes and Andrew Bogut were on the squad, then nothing about your nucleus or your chemistry is disrupted. Even with Kevin Durant going down, you could just revert back to what we've been seeing from the Golden State Warriors over the past 2 years. But because Bogut is gone, because Harrison Barnes is gone, and Kevin Durant replaced them, and now he's out, now you're in a situation where if you're Klay and Steph and Draymond, it's foreign territory because you haven't had to play with your depth being compromised so glaringly. And as a result, now you really, really feel, as Max, you pointed out, like you have to do so much more. And that's where it becomes problematic because you have to do some more. Remember, they did a lot, but they didn't necessarily have to over the last 2 years. They flowed when they flowed, but they also had depth. Now this year, you didn't have it, but you sacrificed it for a big four along with Andre Iguodala. Now, without Kevin Durant and those other two aforementioned, you've got some trouble. I think even with Kevin Durant, Cleveland is the favorite. But without Kevin Durant, I think there's a legitimate argument that the Golden State Warriors may not even get out of the West.
Look, the analysis that when you add Durant to and take away Bogut and Harrison Barnes from a 73-win team, which there's no chance you're going to win 74 games, the next year. It's just so highly unlikely because you had to get a little lucky in addition to being so excellent.
They weren't trying to win 74.
Of course, it was a mistake to go after the 72 record even last year, I believe, still. I think it's one of the reasons Steph may have been hurt. But that an argument, as you would say, Stephen A., for another day. Many people have had the analysis that, hey, do you add Durant to that and take away and mess with that chemistry? And I think health. And I think that that's a legitimate question On the other hand, who among us who brings up that question wouldn't have made the move for Kevin Durant? In other words, it's one thing for everyone to say, and many people have, hey, I don't know if you want to mess with that, even to add Durant. Maybe you get worse in certain areas. It's not as good. You're disrupting chemistry. But who would actually have the courage of their convictions and pass on Durant? I offer nobody. Nobody makes, passes on that move. So that was going to happen. I also offer that even though those factors are in play, there's no way you can tell me that taking away Bogut and Barnes and adding Durant is a bad thing. Of course it makes you better, provided he's on the floor. And while I'm not, like you, Stephen A., I'm not concerned about their shooting. Clay and Steph are not streaky shooters. They're all-time great shooters, period. They're not volume shooters who need all those touches to stay hot, though it probably helps to get extra touches if you want to stay hot. So, all those things are true about the Golden State Warriors. And in Durant's case, of course, missing him makes you worse. The big takeaway from me is I have to admit, before the last couple games, over the last couple years, it was hard for me to imagine Golden State being so cold over, let's say, a best-of-7 stretch that they could actually lose a best-of-7 series because they got cold. All of a sudden, that question is entering my mind. Not worried about the shooting, even without Durant. But I have to admit, the specter of them getting cold long enough to lose a series they should win has now crept into my thoughts.
I ain't worried about that. Shooters shoot, and they're going to make shots come postseason time. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about their depth and whether or not they've got the muscle to deal with what's going to get thrown in their direction, particularly without the services of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's there. They're going to the finals, but they could still lose. Without Kevin Durant, I'm not sure they're going to even make it to the finals.
Yeah, that's right. They can get bumped off by San Antonio, for example, if they don't have Durant. That's entirely possible. Houston, less likely, but also possible. It's possible. Houston's shooting so many threes. Daryl Morey finally has, I don't know if it's the last laugh, but it's a laugh because it's a triumph of analytics. But the Golden State Warriors, Stephen A., have a lot, as I said yesterday, of what the Spurs have going for them, but with better players when Durant's healthy. They're coached up exceptionally well, and they even showed it on the defensive end yesterday.
All I know is this season that was supposed to be a foregone conclusion is getting a lot more exciting, gentlemen. We want to hear from you guys at home now. So the Warriors lead in the